Hello then. This feels weird. I guess I don't know why I stopped, and I also don't know why I started again. But here I am, just going for it. How have you been? I've been going through the semester, and now the semester is technically over, but I've been taking a summer class. Anyways, I thought that I would kind of get back into things by doing a little bit of a favorites. I always think that those kind of videos get very repetitive and strange, so I thought that this one would be a little bit themed. I don't know. I just realized that the majority of the things that I have here are more ethically centered, so excuse any sound that you hear from outside. There's a lot of construction going on, and the room is shaking. Also, I kind of should say that what I mean personally by ethical is ecologically friendly and also made in more ethical ways. I think what I'm going to do is start off with the few items that are not in the ethical boat, which are 3 items and are quite boring. I need to go really quick and then I'll be back. Well, it's a few hours later now. The lighting's oh shoot! I totally forgot about the lighting. Yeah, I just had to go do some things, but back now. I'm really tired. Okay. Let's go. The first item is a weird one. Actually, all of these 3 are weird items that are not ethical items. The first one is this freaking deodorant, and I don't know why I like it so much. It's Secret Luxe Lavender. I feel like, the deodorant that I used to be using was actually an Old Spice one, because who cares about the gender of products? And it was the amber one, which I do think smells quite good, but for some reason I felt like it made me even more sweaty than I needed to be. And this one I don't feel makes me that way at all. It covers up any kind of scent really well and then actually does keep you from sweating quite a bit, whereas the one that I used before did not, so maybe that's why this stands out to me a lot. Is it weird to smell deodorant? Just did it. Not quite as weird anymore. It does smell like lavender quite a bit, but to me it just smells more flowery across the board. I really like the smell of flowers, especially lately. Don't really know what that's about, but I've been really liking this. The next thing is a little bit of a weird one, and that is flushable wipes. It's just useful to have sometimes, you know? Because sometimes, you know, and it doesn't even have to just be specifically toilet bathroom stuff. It can be like, oh shoot, I don't have time to like shower or bathe right now. You can take one of these and it's just a really easy like cleaning under the armpit kind of situation, and then you're good. I don't know, it just seems kind of useful in that way also. So it can be used for a lot of stuff, including the bathroom wiping. I didn't even know that these existed before, and then now I do, and they're really awesome, and I've been using them a lot, and they're really it just sounds like that I have problems. I think everybody can benefit from this. I don't want to get too much more into it. If you're a human and you have a body part that you make excrement out of, this can be useful. Even probably if you're not human, honestly. If there are some aliens out there. Or dogs who can, I don't even know where I'm going with this. The next thing that I have is just baby oil. I have been really liking baby oil for moisturization lately, and I have used this for a bit of time before. This isn't the first time that I've used it. Of course, some people are really bothered by the feel of oil because it can feel kind of greasy on the skin because it's, of course, oil. It really does not bother me, especially if you use it at night. It's not that big of a deal. But what I would say is that you do need to use this with a little bit of water combined with it. So maybe after you shower or bathe, then just have a little bit of this onto already damp skin, because otherwise it is just the oil and you don't get any of the moisturization effect per se. Because of course it does soften the skin, then it still provides some of that effect, but of course there's no actual moisture in this because it's just oil and moisture is water. It can really help seal in the moisture after a bath or shower to put this on. And also, since it comes in a big bottle like this, it lasts for a really long time. And of course it goes on incredibly smoothly because it's a liquid oil. But just as kind of moisturization simplified in my mind. And that's it kind of for the normal stuff that isn't ethical, but now I'm going to get on to the more ethical stuff. So first of all, I should say that I've been doing a lot of research specifically on the environmental working groups. Is that what it's called? Environmental working group? It's EWG. I can't remember right now what the acronym stands for. I have been researching a lot of things on that site to get some good ideas because I've been trying to shop more ethically. But they have this place where they catalog a lot of products that are either more or less environmentally friendly, and it's called the Skin Deep catalog, and I discovered it by looking at some other blogs, and it is really useful because it does categorize what are the best and not as good products for the environment, and also I think is good for looking at things more ethically as well, because usually I think if things are more environmentally friendly, they're more likely to also look into it being more ethical in terms of humans and also not testing on animals and those kinds of things, so cruelty-free, maybe vegan, things like that. But I found that it doesn't necessarily go the other way around as much. There can be some things that are not tested on animals, but that does not mean it is environmentally friendly. But I don't want to say too much about it because I don't want to be spreading false information about what is the best product to use for the planet. But I have found some that are quite highly rated on that site that I found in local little stores around, so I've been able to get some of them, and wow, I did not know that I used this much of this hand soap already. This is the Everyone hand soap, and this is the Meyer lemon and mandarin one. It is just really delicious smelling. I always love the smell of lemons and citrus in general, especially lemons, and then of course this has lemons and citrus. It says it's made with plant extracts and pure essential oils. And there's not a lot to say necessarily about hand soap in general, but this has a lot of little markings that tell you all about it. It says no synthetic fragrances, it's recyclable, cruelty-free, it's non-GMO, and gluten-free if you care about that stuff as well. It also says certified B Corporation, which I do not know what that means, but maybe it's worth looking up. And this, I think, was rated quite highly on the EWG Skin Deep website, so I'm pretty sure it is quite good environmentally as well, which is great. I think that it is worth a try, and yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I only have one more skincare product, and this one is not going to be very helpful per se, because it isn't really a specific thing. It's something that I myself made, and I cannot remember the recipe, but hopefully I'll be able to put it on my blog one day. And it is this. But this is my nighttime face cream that I use. I, at first, didn't like this as much because I couldn't get over the smell. It smells very beeswaxy because of beeswax in it. But now I've grown to really like it, and I feel that in the morning, after I put this on at night, it really makes my skin feel very moisturized, very smooth, and very calm. I've been having a lot of problems with acne lately, and I've had to have some medicine to kind of help keep it at bay, and it really dries my skin out a lot, and I feel like putting this on really helps. So I'm gonna tell you the ingredients that are in this, but I don't know quite the percentages, and there are probably some that I may be forgetting, but I think that this kind of skin cream is something that is useful, so then maybe you can look up online homemade recipes for face cream that include blank. So I specifically at first was looking for a face lotion face cream recipe that used aloe vera, and I did find one. So what is in here is mostly I think aloe vera, which maybe does a lot for calming the skin, but it also has cocoa butter, shea butter. It might have another type of butter in it as well. I think it may have a little bit of coconut oil in it, but I'm not quite sure. I kind of don't think so. It has some beeswax in it as well. Glycerin, it has some glycerin in it. And it also has some essential oils. I think lavender and maybe some other ones like grapefruit, but it doesn't affect the smell too much because the other things have a lot of smell to them. It just has been incredibly useful for me to use, and also just, I think overall, more environmentally friendly and more ethical to not be buying products from a big company necessarily. This, I would say, is a fun thing to try, making your own face cream. For night, I think this is really useful, and also, again, really skin calming. So the last 3 or 4 kind of items don't necessarily have to do with application. They're not products, but more other kinds of things for your day. This is a candle that I have from Bath & Body Works. It is the White Gardenia candle. It says soy wax blend scented candle. Now, soy is better for you, for sure, than other types of candle waxes like paraffin wax, and also it is made just with essential oils, so it's a bit better than the other kinds of scents, although it can still be bad. After doing some research, I realized that when they are combusted, meaning that I don't really want to explain it 100%, but pretty much when they're on fire and combusted, that means that they can turn into some kinds of chemicals that are not that great for you. And also, I would say in terms of the kind of wax, soy is not usually the best kind, even though it is maybe more environmentally friendly, maybe better for you in terms of your environment. The best kind of candle wax and the most ethical kind, I think, is beeswax. And beeswax can actually have a good health effect instead of just being neutral or bad. So I do know that soy is not the best choice for the most ethical wax, but in terms of if you don't have like a ton of money to spring on like some little candles that cost, $20 to $30 because they use beeswax and things that are a lot more expensive, I think that this is a good kind of option in the middle. And this smells very good. It smells very flowery. Again, I've been really into the flowery scents. The White Gardenia smells really awesome. I just think that it's a really good scent to have just around the room. It's a really simple scent, but it really makes the room just smell so kind of springy and summery, but at the same time homey. I really like it. So if you are going to get one of these candles, I would definitely recommend the White Gardenia one. I have two last items. Technically it's three, but two kinds of things, and they are both clothing items. The first thing is jeans. These jeans that I have are mom jeans, and I've been wanting mom jeans for quite a long time. They're actually from, I don't know how people pronounce it in the US of A. ASOS. I don't think it really matters that much. Anyways, they're really pretty. They have these little rips in them and you can roll them up or have them be all the way down. I also have these, which are some other mom jeans that do not have rips. They are, of course, a darker color, which I like, and they're both very high-waisted, which is really nice. They're a little bit more of a frumpy fit around some areas. These ones are a little bit more slim-fitted than the ones that I'm wearing right now are. I found them by using the ASOS Eco Edit, which is something that I've used before to try to find more ecologically friendly clothing. I don't know the exact style, but I think that just saying that they're on the ASOS website under the Eco Edit, and they might not even be around anymore because they cycle through things on that website, but under the Eco Edit, they're both mom jeans, they're both high-waisted. I just think they're really nice, really flattering, go with so many things. I've worn them so many times now. I think part of ethical buying is to not go overboard with the things that you buy and not buy too much. So to just kind of buy the specific little things that you want to have for certain things but not going overboard. So okay, I want mom jeans, or I want this specific kind of jeans. Okay, I'm going to buy some good jeans that are like maybe light colored and dark colored, and then that's it. Not going overboard and buying way too many is good. I think these were a good buy. I definitely recommend these jeans. The last thing that I got is from a thrift store, and it is one of my favorite things. You might think when I'm holding this, oh, she's holding a blanket. You'll notice that maybe that there are some bunnies on it. I think, okay, she found a bunny blanket at a thrift store that looks kind of like a blanket that your grandma would have. But no, it's not a blanket, or not just a blanket. It's a blanket shirt. It's literally a blanket jacket. It technically is more of course, a blanket jacket. Well, I saw this with my family at a thrift store, and eventually we started to call it a blurt, a blanket shirt, and now we just call it the blurt. So I call it my blurt. It's kind of weird to call it that, but it has bunnies all over it. It's, I think, a cool color. It's super weird, and I also think that it is quite useful because it's almost like a little robe in a way. It's not that long, but you can just wear it if you're feeling a bit cold. It's kind of like a house coat, but that's so cool, like a blanket that was turned into a shirt. I love those kinds of things. I love those really odd, weird things like that. It's not necessarily fashionable, but I just think it's so quirky and weird and amazing. That's the kind of stuff that I love the most about clothing in general. But this just, I don't know, reminds me of just, you know, the vibe of that kind of house that has this kind of blanket in it, but then I can wear it on my body. It's just kind of cool. So if anybody else gets any inspiration to make a blanket into a shirt, that's a great idea. I think that's all that I have. Hopefully I gave you some more ethical and environmental inspiration, even though I don't think that I'm the best at it. And I also don't think that all my choices are 100% ethical and 100% environmental, but I do think that they are better options. I feel like we live in such like a consumerist society, and it's hard to stop consuming when you feel like there's so much new stuff around the corner and you just want to get all this new stuff and try it out, and that's completely understandable. But then once you have that standard of, well, the products also need to be ethical, environmentally friendly, and they need to be maybe better for you, like as a person, you know, like better for your environment. Once you get those standards, then it's a lot easier to say no to products, even if they do, you know, look good and whatever. It just cuts off a lot of temptation. So if you are having trouble with overspending on things, I would say that trying to look into more ethical buying, if you can, is a really good thing to do. That might also mean buying less and buying at a thrift store, whatever it is. It's now been half an hour and I did not think it was going to be that long. So I'm going to go. I hope that you enjoyed this. My blog is going to be shown down below, so if you want to see that, then you can. And hopefully I will see you very soon. Bye!